Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Sacred Season Healing. I'm so grateful you're here today. In today's reading, we're exploring the energy of the sacral chakra. It's the center of our emotions, our creativity, pleasure, intimacy, self-worth, and our ability to receive joy. When this chakra is balanced, we feel emotionally connected, we feel inspired, creative, passionate, and open to healthy relationships. But when it's blocked, we may struggle with emotional pain, fear of vulnerability, guilt, creative stagnation. We could even be experiencing codependency or difficulty allowing ourselves to experience happiness. As always, remember this is a general collective reading. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and trust your own intuition above all else. Okay? Spirit will always give each of us exactly the message we need to hear. So let's take a deep breath together, invite in our guides, angels, and highest good, and to see what Spirit wants to reveal about the collective sacral chakra today. Okay? The first question I'd like to ask Spirit is, what emotional energy, wound, or pattern is most ready to be acknowledged and healed within the collective sacral chakra, Spirit? What emotional energy, wound, or pattern is most ready to be acknowledged and healed within the collective sacral chakra? Please show us clearly. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. We have the sun. Anything else, Spirit? The Tower. Anything else? Okay. The next question I'd like to ask Spirit for the first half of this reading is, what is the root cause or deeper lesson behind this emotional blockage or imbalance? What is the root cause or deeper lesson behind this emotional blockage or imbalance? Thank you, Spirit. Please show us clearly. I feel like that wanted to come out, but we'll leave it in there. It didn't flip over. What root cause or deeper lesson behind this emotional blockage? Please show us. Thank you. Okay. We have the Five of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. Okay. And the last question I'd like to ask for this first part of the reading is, what healing energy, action, or guidance will begin restoring balance to the collective sacral chakra? What healing energy, action, or guidance, Spirit, will begin restoring the balance? Please show us clearly. Thank you. Okay, we have the Devil. Anything else? Okay, let's take a look at these messages. So the first question we asked was, what emotional energy, wound, or pattern is most ready to be acknowledged and healed within the collective sacral chakra? And we got the Sun and the Tower. So at first glance, these two cards seem like complete opposites, but together they tell a powerful story. The Sun represents truth, clarity, joy, healing, and illumination. And the Tower represents sudden change or endings. It's some sort of upheaval or the collapse of something that was built on an unstable foundation. Okay? So I think Spirit is showing that the emotional wound that's ready to be healed is connected to a truth that has already been revealed. Okay? Something may have ended unexpectedly, or life may have changed in a way that the collective wasn't prepared for. Okay? But while the truth may now be clear, the emotional body, the sacral chakra, may still be struggling to fully process and accept what happened. Okay? So the healing isn't necessarily about understanding every why. It's about allowing yourself to accept that what fell away was creating space for something more aligned. Sometimes our hearts need longer than our minds to catch up with the truth. So I can totally relate to this. I'm the type of person that I always want to know why. I want an answer to every question I have. And I think especially when, I'll wait just a moment. Okay, we have a loud plane and a fire truck all at the same time. Fire sirens. Okay, I think it's passing now. But what I was going to say is, yeah, I've just always been the type of person that I wanted my questions answered, and I always just want to find out why. So I think it's especially difficult. I don't know, every story's different. Every one of your stories are different. But whatever this tower is representing, if it's something that happens suddenly and you did not get possibly some of the answers from a person that was involved in this tower moment, you feel like you don't have closure, and you probably have a lot of unanswered questions, even though Spirit has shown you clearly why this wasn't working. So yeah, that takes a while to get through, because you have to, once you begin the healing process, and the more you heal, the more you accept the truth, what's been shown to you, and the less you cling to having to have the answer to every one of those unanswered questions. They start to fade away over time, Okay, so let's go to question 2. What is the root cause or deeper lesson behind this emotional blockage or imbalance? Okay, and we got the 2 cards, 5 of Swords and Knight of Pentacles. Now, the 5 of Swords, it often points to mental conflict. Replaying conversations, questioning what happened, wishing things had gone differently, or feeling the need to prove a point or be understood. Okay, kind of what I was saying back here, that I always want to know why and that kind of thing. So I go through this a lot, just replaying the conversations and thinking about all the questions that I didn't get answers to, and trying to find the answers on my own, But I think Spirit is showing that part of the blockage comes from continuing to revisit the conflict instead of allowing yourself to move beyond it. Okay? So the mind keeps reopening the wounds that the heart is trying to heal. So every time we catch ourselves, or maybe that's my suggestion to you, because it's my suggestion to myself, something I've been trying to really focus on the last couple of days is every time my mind starts going here, I try to focus on my healing journey, my healing path. So I will say some positive affirmations. I will remind myself that I trust that Spirit is showing me a path and guiding me to a path that's better for me, and that I don't have to worry about this anymore. It's okay to release, and then I try to focus more on myself, and what's going to make me happy today, what will, bring me joy. And then I set out to do that and try to get my mind focused on that instead of this stuff. It's just a suggestion. You might have your own way of getting your mind off of things, but that's kind of what I've been doing, so I thought I would share that with you. So yeah, I think the Knight of Pentacles, it just reminds us that Healing doesn't happen overnight. Emotional healing is often slow. Slow and steady work, right? And that's what the Knight of Pentacles represents, is slow, steady movement forward. And so every step counts, you know. So the deeper lesson, I think, is to stop measuring your healing by how quickly you get over it, right? So to speak. I'm putting it in air quotes there. And instead, just honor your progress one day at a time, because consistency will carry you much farther than perfection. Okay? Now, for question 3, what healing energy, action, or guidance will begin restoring balance to the collective sacral chakra? We have the devil here. So, interestingly, Spirit isn't saying that the devil is what you should embrace. Okay? It's showing exactly what needs to be released, I think. Okay? So the devil represents things like unhealthy attachments, fear, limiting beliefs, emotional dependency, guilt, shame, obsession, or anything that we've given power over our emotional well-being. Anything we've given our power away to. Okay? So for many of you in the collective, healing might begin by asking some questions like, what am I still emotionally attached to? What fear is keeping me from moving forward? What story am I continuing to tell myself that no longer serves me? Okay? The devil reminds us that many of the chains keeping us stuck are not actually locked. Okay? I mean, if you take a really close look at this card, you can see they could probably get out of those all by themselves, right? Don't need any help. They're not totally locked up there. So we often have more freedom than we realize a lot of times. So as you release your fears, attachments, or limiting beliefs, I think your sacral chakra then begins to flow naturally again. And it's making room for joy and creativity, emotional intimacy, and healthy relationships. Okay? So those are the first messages Spirit has for us today. But before we continue, take a moment to reflect on what came up for you. Which part of today's reading resonated the most? Sometimes simply bringing awareness to these emotional patterns is the first step toward healing. Okay? Okay. Now, before we move into the second half of today's reading, I'd like to invite you to spend a moment. I'm going to give you some journal prompts. You can write them down if you need to pause the video to grab a pen and paper, or just come back to the video later. But, you know, looking at this, the Sun, the Tower, the Five of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Devil, that all reminds us that emotional healing isn't about pretending something didn't hurt. So please keep that in mind. It's about allowing ourselves to acknowledge the truth. Okay? Yeah, and just releasing the emotional attachments, okay, that kept us stuck. And just trust that healing happens one intentional step at a time. Okay? Okay, take a deep breath and just simply notice what emotions came up for you during this part of the reading. I'm going to go ahead and start with the journal prompts. Some questions you can reflect on later. So here goes. First one, what emotional ending or unexpected change am I still processing? Where do I find myself replaying old conversations or past experiences instead of allowing myself to move forward? What attachment, fear, belief, or emotional pattern am I ready to release? What would emotional freedom look and feel like in my life? How can I show myself more patience and compassion as I continue my healing journey? Okay? So now, if these messages are resonating with you, I would truly appreciate it if you would like this video, subscribe to Sacred Season Healing, and share it with someone who may need these messages today. Your support helps this community continue to grow, and it allows these healing messages to reach those who are meant to receive them. Okay? And again, thank you so much for being here with me today. So now, let's see what Spirit wants to reveal next, okay? First, I'd like to ask Spirit what truth, healing perspective, or shift in mindset will help the collective continue opening and balancing their sacral chakra. So Spirit, please tell us or show us what truth, healing perspective, or shift in mindset will help the collective continue opening and balancing their sacral chakra. Thank you, Spirit. Truth, healing perspective, or shift in mindset. Please show us clearly. Okay, let me shuffle a little more. Okay, Spirit, please show us what truth, healing perspective, these cards are sticky. Let's loosen them up a little bit. What truth, healing perspective, or shift in mindset will help the collective continue opening and balancing their sacral chakra? Thank you, Spirit. Anything else? Okay, so we have the Emperor and the Two of Cups. Okay. Next, I'd like to ask Spirit, what is the most important message that Spirit wants the collective to remember as they continue healing their emotional well-being, creativity, and relationships? What's the most important message, Spirit, you want the collective to remember as they continue healing their emotional well-being, creativity, and relationships? Please show us clearly. Thank you. What is the most important message, Spirit, you want the collective to remember? Thank you. Seven of Pentacles. As they continue healing their emotional well-being, creativity, and relationships. Is there anything else, Spirit? The Empress. Anything else? The Moon. And I'm just going to ask for Spirit to clarify the Moon. Okay. Spirit, please clarify the Moon. Okay, the Moon's clarified by the Chariot. Is there anything else, Spirit? Okay, perfect. Question number 6? What blessing, opportunity, or transformation is likely to unfold as the collective continues healing and balancing their sacral chakra? Please show us clearly, Spirit. Thank you. What blessing, opportunity, or transformation is likely to unfold as the collective continues healing and balancing their sacral chakra? Thank you. What blessing, opportunity, or transformation is likely to unfold, Spirit? Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? anything else. Okay, so the first card out was the Magician. Then we had the Ten of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. Okay, so now let's take a look at these messages in the second half of the reading here. So the first question we asked on this second half of the reading was, what truth, healing perspective, or shift in mindset will help the collective continue opening and balancing their sacral chakra? And we got the Emperor and the Two of Cups. So I think Spirit's reminding the collective that healing doesn't come from controlling other people. It comes from taking ownership of yourself. Okay, and that's what the Emperor here is representing, because he represents stability, healthy boundaries, confidence, emotional maturity, and just taking your power back. Okay, the Two of Cups, it reminds us that we're all worthy of healthy, reciprocal, emotionally safe relationships. Okay, so the healing perspective, I think, is when you become emotionally grounded with yourself, you naturally begin attracting healthier connections into your life. Okay, so whether those relationships are romantic, friendships, family relationships, it could be co-workers, or just simply the relationship you have with yourself, all of those can become healthier because you're no longer abandoning yourself to keep someone else. Okay, so your sacral chakra begins to flourish then, I think, when our relationships are built on mutual respect and honesty, trust, and emotional balance, right? Instead of things like fear or control or unhealthy attachment. Okay, now the next question I asked was, what is the most important message Spirit wants the collective to remember as they continue healing their emotional well-being, creativity, and relationships? And the cards that came out are the Seven of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Moon. And I asked for clarification on the Moon, and I got the Chariot. Okay, so let's see if I can hold all four to where you can see them. Okay, all right, so to me, this is a beautiful message, because the Seven of Pentacles reminds us that nothing we've experienced has been wasted. Okay, every investment of love, every lesson, every disappointment, every season of waiting, it's all helped us. Well, it's helped shape us for who we've become. Okay, and the Empress here is, I think, Spirit's reminder that you are already worthy. You are abundant. You are creative. You are nurturing. You are deserving of healthy love and a beautiful life. Not because someone else gives you those qualities, but because they've always existed within you. Okay? And then the Moon here, the Moon acknowledges that there can be, okay, maybe still uncertainty, fear, or emotions that are rising to the surface. And healing isn't always clear or comfortable, right? But the Chariot here is the encouragement that you've been waiting for, because it's like feel your emotions, honor your emotions, learn from your emotions, but don't let them drive your life. Okay? The Chariot reminds us that we can acknowledge our feelings without allowing them to determine our direction. Spirit's encouraging the collective to continue moving confidently toward the future. Okay? So then we asked what blessing, opportunity, or transformation is likely to unfold as the collective continues healing and balancing their sacral chakra. And we got the Magician, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. So Spirit is showing an incredible transformation here. The Magician says that you already possess everything you need to create the life you're dreaming about, okay? You are far more powerful than you've been giving yourself credit for. And the Ten of Pentacles represents lasting abundance, emotional security, stable relationships. It can represent family, legacy, and the kind of life that many people hope to build, right? This is like all of our dream. The beautiful part is that Spirit isn't saying that those dreams disappeared because of the Tower. Spirit's saying they can still become your reality. Okay? They can still become your reality. You have to believe that. You have everything you need to create this for yourself. The Five of Wands here, it feels less like external conflict with other people and more like the internal struggle that naturally comes with growth, right? Because as you continue working through old fears, oh, there goes my cards again. As you continue working through those old fears, okay? Or even, limiting beliefs or emotional triggers and just the inner conflict with inside of you, you're clearing the path toward the life Spirit has been preparing for you, okay? So the blessing isn't simply receiving the Ten of Pentacles. The blessing is becoming the version of yourself who's emotionally healthy enough to receive it, recognize it, and sustain it, okay? So believe in yourself that you have all the power you need, all the tools you need to create this, and keep working on yourself, on the inner conflict. Continue your healing journey, and you will get this, okay? I think that's what Spirit is saying here. So now, let's go ahead. That kind of completes today's tarot reading. So just in summary, what stands out to me is that Spirit isn't asking the collective to erase the past. Spirit is asking us to transform our relationship with it. So the Tower may have changed your life, but it didn't destroy your future. As you release the fear, reclaim your power, and just continue choosing your healing, you're creating space for relationships, for joy, for creativity, and abundance that are far more aligned with who you've become, okay? Now let's look at some practical healing tools you can use this week to support your sacral chakra and continue integrating today's message into your daily life, okay? It can help with that. All right, so let's start here with the affirmations. And if today's reading resonated with you, please remember to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave me some comments in the section below, in the comment section below. Tell me what resonated the most. If you want to share how this is playing out in your life, you can do that as well, okay? All right, first, some affirmations. You can repeat these each morning or whenever you notice yourself holding on to fear or, the past, or just going over those arguments you had, or, whether you were right or wrong, all that internal conflict. You might want to write these down on sticky notes or put them in your notes section in your phone, somewhere where you can get to it or see it to remind yourself when those negative thoughts start creeping up, okay? I release what no longer serves me. I honor my emotions without becoming trapped by them. I am worthy of healthy love, authentic joy, and abundant new beginnings. You might also like to try some body movement. The sacral chakra thrives through movement, okay? So you can try some gentle hip opening yoga. You could do free flow dancing in your living room, stretching, swimming, or just simply taking a walk while intentionally allowing your body to relax and move naturally, okay? But as you move, imagine stagnant emotional energy flowing out of your body with every breath that you take. Okay, that might help. So some sound healing. Listen to the sound frequencies around 417 hertz. It's commonly associated with releasing old emotional patterns and encouraging positive change. You might also enjoy calming instrumental music, flowing water sounds like waterfalls, that kind of thing, or anything that helps you reconnect with your emotions in a peaceful way. Okay, some essential oils are sweet orange, ylang ylang, jasmine, sandalwood, and clary sage. You can diffuse them during meditation. You can add them to a little carrying bottle if you've got a big bottle of it, or just stick the little bottle in your purse, your pocket, whatever, and have a little sniff out of it, or you could put it on your wrist or somewhere on your skin where you can, just kind of inhale that, okay? All right, crystals. You could do carnelian. It's for confidence, creativity, and life force energy. Orange calcite for emotional healing and joy. Sunstone for optimism and personal empowerment. Moonstone for emotional balance and intuition. Choose whichever crystal you're most drawn to. Often your intuition knows exactly which one, that you need. So, okay. And then some small healing practices. This week, I want you to notice where you're holding on to something that's already ended, okay? Ask yourself, if I trusted that something even better was making its way to me, what would I finally be ready to release? And just remember, even one small act of letting go is an act of self-love, okay? So thank you so much for spending this time with me today and allowing me to be a part of your healing journey. I hope today's messages brought you clarity, some comfort, and encouragement, okay? Remember, healing isn't about forgetting the past. It's about allowing yourself to grow beyond it. Every challenge you faced has helped shape the strong, compassionate, and resilient person you're becoming. Be gentle with yourself this week. Honor your emotions, celebrate your progress, and trust that every step you take is leading you closer to the joyful, emotionally fulfilling life that Spirit has planned for you, okay? If this reading resonated with you, please like the video, subscribe to Sacred Season Healing, and share it with someone who may need these messages today, okay? And again, I'd love to hear from you in the comment section below. Which card or message spoke to your heart the most, okay? Until next time, take care of yourself. Trust your intuition, keep healing one step at a time, and remember, your healing is sacred, your journey is unfolding exactly as it should, and your next season may be your most beautiful one yet. That's exciting. Okay, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.